Hello, can you see me? All right, so I'm going to try to talk about this stuff again. Here we have the classic principle of introversion and extroversion. So the idea here is that extroversion is attention to the object, and introversion is attention to the impression of the object upon the subject. This is an oversimplification because Jung has the idea that the subjective factor is the entire collective unconscious. So this is an oversimplification, but whatever, it's good enough. The thing about this image is that, first of all, it slightly makes us understand intuition as related to introversion. And the reason is, it sounds stupid, but the reason is that we're using a thought cloud here, right? And a thought cloud, the symbol of a thought cloud is inherently related to heaven. And I'm going to argue later in this video that, like I have been arguing, that heaven is related to intuition. So, right, if this image makes us think that up here is intuition, and down here is sensation. I mean, like this really is when we. I know it's not intended to be like this, but the way that this symbol makes us think is the way, the ancients would talk about, like, the sensible and the intelligible. So the first move of what I want to do is to say, okay, the thought cloud here kind of should be erased. It's not produced by the subject. Intelligible patterns are not necessarily produced by the subject. They just are. So instead of this image, we have, and this looks so schizophrenic, we have this image where man is embedded within heaven and earth, right? He is actually just the mediator between, intuition and sensation, right? So we have, I have clouds up here. I just wrote principle, but that actually should just be, that should be something more like pattern, because principle inherently ties it to thinking. Patterns up here, patterns, right? So we have patterns up in the heavens, and we have facts, or you could say sensible intuition, or sensible things on earth. So, and you can see here, man himself is an image of this, right? His body is more on earth, and his head is more in heaven. Right, so you have a fractal relationship here, where man is embedded. Man himself is an image of heaven and earth, embedded within heaven and earth. Yeah, so that's cool. Right, so this, you could think of this as like, this is just sense data. This is Hume's argument, right? Hume's argument is that if sense data is all we have, if we just receive sense data, there is no information, right? Like you put your finger on something, and you feel whatever that sensation is, but it's meaningless on its own. And if you simply add more sense data, it still has no meaning. What you have to have is a way of relating this sense data into one. You have to have this weird, intuitive capacity to map sensation with pattern, with intelligibility, essentially. And it's also interesting that N is the symbol for intuition. It's kind of a coincidence of fate that its intuition is represented by an N, because introversion was taking up the I. But really, like, it's the nous, like it's the noetic capability to perceive reality. Yeah. So can I move on to thinking and feeling? I think so. I think I've kind of covered everything there. Thinking, this is where it gets weird. Like, thinking is how that is joined in like the way that we normally recognize how information works in the 20th century or whatever. Thinking is like, okay, here's some stuff available to me by sense data, right? And then here's this pattern up here. And let's say that these are, this is some stuff over here and this is some stuff over here. And this pattern is chicken, right? If this sense data on the left here fits that pattern, then yeah, we recognize that as a chicken. And if this sense data doesn't fit that pattern, we say, oh, actually, no, that's out. So this is taxonomic kind of relationship. This is a taxonomic way of relating heaven and earth, of mediating between heaven and earth, where what we do here is we really like fix things. We have this idea that this is a fixed pattern. This is stable. This stuff down here is variable. And some of it is going to be able to participate in that fixed pattern, and some of it's not. So it's kind of like this bringing heaven down. It's like, like you are out or you are in. Right. And the image of that I think is helpful to think about maybe is like taxonomy as killing something. Like, I don't want to be too overly negative about the thinking function, but you have to, I think it's important to recognize that taxonomy is the image of butterflies killed in a frame, ordered with names and species. It's not a way of ordering phenomena which keeps these phenomena moving and living. That is the realm of feeling. So yeah, here we have heaven and earth again, but instead of let's say taxonomically recognizing something, feeling is almost like, let's join these things through a music. So imagine a couple of different images of this, right? So this could be the sun. We're gonna get like very concrete here. Like this is literally something in heaven. The sun goes down below the horizon. It's below the horizon, and then the sun comes back up, and it's like, okay, there's nothing being built here. This is just simply a cycle, and we recognize that this cycle has a kind of musical quality to it, right? We talk about the music of the spheres, for example, and music itself is this motion, right? You take a string and you move it back and forth. Like it's a cycle. Like all of these sounds, or all of music, is the production of this wave, which is a cycle, right? That's what it is. So, okay, I'm going to draw another example. Thinking's relationship to phenomenon is like this. You've got this you got this phenomenon. Thinking takes spear, and just stabs it. It's like, boom, gotcha. You are now this. You are X, and you are dead. You are a dead snake. But feeling, instead of doing that, feeling does this thing with, let's say a horn. It's going up to his mouth, and instead of producing air that has meaning and that joins sensible stuff and intelligence in a very like explicit way, feeling produces this sound, and then the snake is like vibing to that new sound, and both are ways of subduing phenomena. But one of them, produces this thing that this thing gets into the rhythm of, and one, takes this thing out of its life and makes it, puts it in a uniform, you could say. Like uniforms are an example of the thinking function. They bring down, it's like, no, okay, this is what the purpose of what you're doing is right now. Like, you are driving for Amazon, so you are wearing an Amazon uniform. It reduces you in a certain extent. Like that's what thinking always does. Is that it reduces you to an extent, or reduces phenomenon. So that brings us to why feeling, let's say feeling is related to emotions. Like that's one of the things that people observe, and it's like, okay, let's imagine for a second that we don't have these arrows here already, right? We got brand new phenomenon. We've got this pattern, and we've got like this is some sensible stuff. It's like, okay, maybe this is what you recognize is going on in your life or something, or this is an event that's happened. This is information that you're receiving, and you're having different reactions to it. Like maybe this is the sensation of anger, and this is like, let's say gladness, right? What you do is you play a song. Maybe it'll be circular. It's a CD, right? CDs go in circles. I know this is like very schizophrenic, but whatever. You play a song, and by doing that, you join these phenomenon into harmony, right? That is the essence of the feeling function. So I hope that made sense. The image of extraversion then, right, is like it when it's extroverted intuition, it's a movement out from here, out from these patterns, and it's also a movement out from here, right? So there's this relationship between the human and the world where it's like pupils dilating, right? The change in the person, the pupils opening, is an opening in phenomena as well. Like the phenomena let out more light when your pupils are open, and when you constrict your pupils, the phenomena let out less light. And even that, strangely enough, is like the relationship between light and darkness seems to be related to introversion and extroversion. Like extroversion is for the daytime. Oh, that's like your pupils are constricted then, but that's in reaction to phenomena being more open by light. It's for the time when the phenomena are letting out more light, and then when the phenomena let out less light, that's when you go to sleep, and all this kind of stuff, all of the people that you've been throughout the day kind of become consolidated into one. So So yeah, that's what introversion and extroversion seems to be, is adaptation to the opening of phenomenon, and then when the phenomenon close, consolidation of those phenomena. So yeah, that's the key. Is like expansion and contraction, both in the person and in phenomena. I had been emphasizing that it's like no, it's just always phenomena. There is no person, but it's like no, okay, we can keep the person involved. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense. More to come. I'll try to get clearer, but I just needed to draw that out and yeah, get it out there.